here. Welcome today to a video that's going to be a lot of fun. Yes, it's time now we go myth busting. Fact. Today we live in an age of misinformation where the only thing that matters is catching the attention of the public. Only the clicks and nothing else matter. This is why most of the info you can find about kidney disease today on YouTube is either extremely obsolete or completely made up, which is really dangerous for people suffering from CKD. And if you know me, you know that I've spent most of my life educating people about kidney health. I've been working with people with kidney disease for more than 10 years now, and I've always done my best to stay updated about the most recent research and to provide you with the best possible info. Sometimes years before anyone else. For example, we're in 2023 right now, and since 2022, avoiding protein is the rule for anyone with kidney disease, according to the Clinical Practice Guideline for CKD. It's in the rule book now, so all clinicians will have to adhere at some point. But guys, if you follow me here regularly, you may still remember that I was telling people to avoid protein back in 2019 already. Yes, I've been advocating one of the biggest changes in the way CKD is managed years before it actually happened. So you can trust me when I say that all the info I give you here is based on the most recent scientific evidence. On the other hand, unfortunately, we can't say that for a lot of YouTubers and other internet personalities out there. There is a ton of misinformation floating on the web. A ton! And that's because most of the people putting content out there either don't know what they are talking about or don't care if the info they give you is wrong. They only care about one thing. Now guys, this video is all about bad advice, so please be very careful and always consult your primary care provider and get informed before following any advice you find here or on the internet in general. With that out of the way, time now to bust out the Cochrane database, PubMed Central, the National Library of Medicine, and fact-check some of the worst misinformation out there. Starting with this video, which comes with some of the worst advice you can get. This is from a fairly new YouTube channel that started pumping out health-related content to profit from the world events that started in 2019. Yeah. They don't even bother showing you their faces. They just regurgitate outdated information about many different topics. Let's see why they are so dangerous for people with kidney issues. So this video of theirs is all about what foods you need to eat to repair the damage. So it's clearly aimed at people with an existing problem. It's not aimed at, prevention. And here's what they recommend for people with kidney problems to eat.
Number 6, fish. Especially fatty fish like salmon and tuna are excellent food choices for promoting overall kidney health.
Okay, this is pretty bad. Yeah, that's bad. They go on explaining that both salmon and tuna are great sources of both omega-3s and protein.
Additionally, fish is also a high-quality protein source, making it an important food choice for maintaining muscle mass and overall health.
Which is really not what you want in a renal diet. I mean, they are right about the omega-3s. Clearly, you need these essential fatty acids, but not from fish. Never eat fish, tuna especially if you have CKD stage 3 to 5. As I was saying, protein is extremely bad for your kidneys. It damages them. We have already seen that current guideline recommends everyone, diabetic included, to follow an eating plan that's very restrictive when it comes to protein. So guys, never trust anyone recommending you to eat tuna. Tuna contains a whopping 30 grams of protein per 100 grams. It's one of the foods with the highest protein content you can find, not to mention the phosphorus content. Now, if you think this is not that bad, keep in mind that this video got more than 300,000 views in less than 2 months. Yes, 300,000 views. Yes, 300,000 kidney disease sufferers may be in danger due to this outrageously bad info. Okay, what can be worse? Recommending to eat more sugar to diabetics? Wait, is that actually happening?
I want to share something that's going to do wonderful things for your kidneys. And honey. It plays a protective role in preventing kidney disease.
So, I like Dr. Mandel and I think some of his content is actually good. And to his excuse, he recommends to switch to natural sweetener if needed. But come on, no one should be recommended honey if they have kidney issues. Most of the honey you can find off the shelf in the supermarket is fake honey. Some brands even mix honey with high fructose corn syrup, which is basically sugar. I mean, would you recommend high fructose corn syrup to someone with diabetes? I wouldn't. Not to mention that all the supposed health benefits of honey are only present in raw honey. The honey you can find from local beekeepers. Very different from supermarket honey, the honey 99.9% of people actually consume. Supermarket honey is always pasteurized and that removes most of the benefits. This is why every time I've talked about honey in one of my videos, I've always told you to be very careful with the source. So stop recommending honey to people with diabetes, please. Up next, this is a piece of misinformation that's so rooted that every time I mention basically any nut or veggie, someone brings it up in comment section. Okay, so the source of this piece of misinformation is still at large. I don't really know who is telling people that anything containing even the slightest amount of oxalates is going to So if you know who that is, please point it out in comment section. Please let me know. Because there must be someone. Here is why I'm telling you this, directly from the comment section here on Double Kidney. I thought almond has high oxalate which can cause kidney stones. And also, beetroot has a lot of oxalates. Oxalates are bad for us. And also, vegetables like spinach, broccoli or kale, as mentioned, may contain rich source of folate, but they are high in oxalates. And also, almonds and pistachios as well as spinach are extremely high in oxalates. Stay away from this. And so on. I got a ton of these comments. And obviously, they are not completely wrong. I mean, you guys following me here are usually pretty well informed about your diet. And there are people who will be better by avoiding high oxalate foods. But guys, telling everyone to completely avoid oxalates is just like telling every single diabetes patient to do a keto diet. It's bad advice. It's very bad. It's the kind of misinformation I'm here to stop. And the reason is simple. Oxalate is a naturally occurring compound always present in our body. And most 80 to 90% of the oxalate present in your body is made by your body. Science says that just 10 to 20% of the oxalate we excrete every day comes from foods. Which means that avoiding high oxalate foods is not going to make a great difference in terms of oxalate excretion. Besides, do they ever tell you why they think oxalate is so bad? Because it binds to calcium. And you know what are the foods highest in oxalate? Spinach, one of the healthiest foods in existence, also a great source of calcium. Rhubarb, another super healthy veggie full of calcium. Almonds, another great source of calcium. Yes, some of the foods that are highest in oxalates are also full of calcium. And it really baffles me that someone would scare everyone into avoiding these super healthy veggies just because they have some oxalate. Now guys, there are people who are sensitive to oxalate, those with an history of calcium oxalate stones and those who need to follow a water restriction. Yes, to them, I would recommend to be careful and to maybe limit oxalate intake and also to always add a source of calcium when eating high oxalate foods. But not everyone needs to worry about oxalate, just those with these issues. And guys, It's clear that knowing more about oxalates and how to avoid the risk linked to them is very important for certain people. This is why I've made a full video about this topic. It's up here and also down in description. I mean, what's the alternative? Stopping eating veggies altogether? Nah, no one would recommend that. I mean, not even a lunatic will tell you people to completely avoid eating veggies. Am I right? I must be right, I hope. No?
You may be one of the few people who should either severely limit the intake of plants, whether they're vegetables, fruits, or others, or you may need to eliminate them completely from your diet.
What?
So yeah, no more veggies. Now, in this video, he also explains that not everyone needs to follow his advice of completely avoiding any single veggie, not seed or fruit, which is a positive, I guess. So there's that. But he also says that he has been completely avoiding veggies for years and he has never felt better. He mostly eats just fatty red meat and eggs.
And I'm one of these people. I've been virtually plant-free in my diet for the last 3.5 years. And that means no vegetables, no fruits, virtually no nuts, no seeds. I've been eating just fatty red meat and eggs, occasional chicken and pork.
That diet must be brutal. I'm suffering just by thinking about how he must feel all day long. Now guys, at this point I could show you the overwhelming amount of incredibly solid scientific evidence linking lack of fiber to increased risk for obesity, diabetes, metabolic syndrome, heart disease. Basically, even someone with perfect health would cut decades from their life by following a strict fatty red meat and eggs diet, says science. A review of studies proved just that. Dietary fiber intake lowered risk of death by many diseases by 24 to 56% in men and 34 to 59% in women. This study basically says that if you stop eating all veggies and fruit now, in the next 9 years, your risk of passing away would double. And this is not up for debate. It has never been. And you know why he says you should avoid veggies in general? Because they have carbs. Yes, I'm not even kidding.
The first problem for some of us is that vegetables just contain too many carbohydrates.
And this is so wrong. I mean, not even diabetics should be completely avoiding carbs. You know who says that carbs are actually good for people with diabetes? The ADA, American Diabetes Association. They call citrus fruits, dark leafy veggies, berries, nuts, and whole grains superstar foods. And they strongly recommend everyone to eat them. And anyone in their right mind should strongly agree with that. Okay, another dangerous piece of misinformation busted. One more to go. Now, I'm wondering, what could be even worse than avoiding veggies? Convincing everyone that physical activity is bad for you? Tell people to stress more? Telling people to take so many vitamins? They basically destroy your kidneys? No, not that. Are they really doing this just to make more clicks?
I would recommend for the average person is to take at least 10,000 IUs every single day.
Okay, this is scary. This is a very dangerous piece of advice. Guys, please never take anything like this huge amount of vitamin D every day without your nephrologist's approval. This is serious. There are documented cases of people hospitalized just because they were taking a similar amount of vitamin D. Question: what would happen if someone followed this advice on vitamin D? The main consequence of vitamin D toxicity is a buildup of calcium, hypercalcemia, very bad for the heart and kidneys. Calcium can deposit in soft tissues, leaving little rocks in the tissue. These deposits or calcifications will never go away. Calcification in joints can cause extreme pain. Calcification in the kidneys can cause kidney stones, and if the heart becomes calcified, it could cause a heart attack. So this earned him the very first place in the top 5 of the worst advice you can get from the web. And that was the last one for today. Now, if you want to see me busting some more myths, this video up here is for you. I've also talked more in depth about what happens when someone takes 10,000 IU vitamin D3 every day. So watch it now if you miss it. And this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless you all.